Welcome to our seminar about Power Platform, and today we are going to talk about data management on Power Platform, how to collect data, how to analyze data, and to make data collection easy for employees. And the reason we're talking about this is that the data landscape has become quite complicated nowadays. And typical those software development methods are not valid anymore, in the sense that our landscape is changing very rapidly. Let's take even this COVID-19 situation we are still tackling. In those circumstances, we need to move faster. We need to be a little bit smarter and to do a better job than we used to do. And I think that Power Platform is exactly the tool for making those kinds of changes and improving company performance. So this is a subject we'll cover today. Webinar is being recorded so that if you feel that you didn't catch everything and will need to review it later, we will send you a link. You will find the questions and answers button on your screen. Please use questions and answers part to ask questions during seminar. And when we have time at the end, we will address those questions. And so let's start going. My name is Toomas, and I am in Primont responsible for data and data management, data analytics, and intranet solutions part. I am Microsoft certified specialist. I think I made my first Microsoft certification in 98 something, so I have been Microsoft certified for 22 years now, so it's a long time. So I have studied different technologies, and now I think this data, AI, data management in organization is one of the most interesting fields and the fastest growing, I believe. So a little bit about Primont also, or Primont. So we are an Estonian company. We started like 6 years ago. Now we are also operating in Latvia. In total, we have a little bit more or less, I think, about 40 people. And we think that we have to be always on the edge or one step ahead of others to see what's coming, to do things differently, to deliver more value to our customers and show them how they can be successful, because data is, knowledge is power, and data is the way to gain new knowledge. And as was said in the heading of this webinar, we believe that the times are over when managers could rely on the gut feeling in making decisions, because gut feeling worked very well in small organizations, very compact organizations where everyone worked in one office and you always had overview of what's going on. But situation nowadays has changed. There is a lot of remote work, and the amount of remote work is even growing right now. So you don't have day-to-day contact to your employees, and you must find new ways to collect data about your business, about how your people are working. And Power Platform is one of those tools that you can add into your toolbox to make rapid changes to your process, how processes are conducted and how data is collected and analyzed. So, and what we're doing is that we are, as a company, looking at all those technologies that are coming. We are certifying ourselves we have been for 4 years straight. You can see in the background there's like awards from Microsoft that we have been Partner of the Year several times, and we are gold certified in cloud platform and data platform, and also silver certified in data analytics and collaboration stuff. There are other certifications, but those are not relevant in current context, so I will not present all full list. These are just those important ones in current situation. And as I said, that expectations are changing, and why are expectations changing is still same as it used to be some years ago, is that we have multitude of devices. We used to have only one device that we used for IT or data manipulation for Excel spreadsheets, so we used our desktop. Now, the first and main device that people are using is actually the mobile phone. So it's like, we would say that it used to be so that mobile phone was a secondary complementary device that people used. Now, mobile device is actually the first device. Children are using devices, elderly people are using mobile phones who never maybe used computers before. And when a lot of people wake up in the morning and check their Facebook friend status and what happened during night in their Facebook. So it's their first device that they are using for computing. And only when they have completed those most important tasks in their life on mobile phones using cloud services in the background, they do come into office and start working on their business data. And the expectation nowadays is that this business data has to work also the same way as the personal data, because this is like the first contact with IT through mobile devices, through cloud services, and people expect those company services work in the same way. And that what has happened in that sense is that there are like a lot more services that people are using daily in their life than they used to just like 5 years, or not talking about even 10 years ago. And that means also that we have a lot of different formats that we need to use in our data architecture. There is a lot of new services, and when it used to be so that, for example, company had like maybe 10 different services that people were using, starting from email, then maybe ERP solutions, some CRM stuff, file server, and so on. So you could probably count those systems on your fingers. But now if we're looking at doing some scans at how many cloud services people are using in any company, then usually it's somewhere about 100 different services that people are using. And our company, Primont, we are paying for about 31 of those services. So that means that we have a lot more services that we have to integrate, and using old style integration tools, it's not, how to say, it's not possible to be flexible in current business environment when you're doing those integrations in traditional ways. And as I said, that those how to say, habits are changing, and that's how actually it also works in everyday life. If you in business life, is that even your business applications, they are mostly consumed from mobile devices. You do your first work on mobile device, you check your reports on mobile device, you check your email on mobile device, you filter out stuff that you can do fast. It's like this getting things done methodology says that if you can do something in less than 3 minutes, don't do it right away and don't postpone it. And that's what people are actually doing on their mobile devices. they do fast stuff on mobile device, and the things where they have to concentrate and do deeper analysis, they leave those things to office. And when they go to office, they open the computer and do this kind of analysis on the large screen. And that has actually changed how people are buying applications or creating applications, because you cannot rely on half-a-year process or 1 year process. You have to do it in weeks, months, couple of months. And here is this agile platforms where you just add different software components together using standard APIs, application programming interfaces, by pointing and clicking, very much like Lego bricks. So this is the expectation nowadays, and also the results in these workflows are a lot better than they are in traditional things, because if you are looking how those expectations are changing, then when you are in a software development project, during this project, customers or like line of business people learn new stuff, and when at the beginning of the project they say that I want this box to be white, then probably at the end of the project they want it to be yellow or red, because they learned that they need to pay more attention to the data that's in that box. And if you are not using those rapid development methods where you can iterate, get a ready product in weeks, so that you can have additional recommendations from user side and make those recommendations into real products, then your projects will probably never end, because you get new recommendations all the time, and you will never reach ready product that can be delivered and say that is version 1. And that's a sure way to achieve customer dissatisfaction, or user dissatisfaction. So we try to promote those fast systems, and very often what agile methods have proved is that you don't need very polished stuff, because if a business environment is changing rapidly, you need to collect some kind of data, certain data. Then you collect that data, and in a month, in 2 months, you understand that your business environment has changed once again, and you don't need to collect that data anymore. You need to collect some other data. But if your development project is half a year long, then by the time your software component is ready, it is out of date and it's not used anymore. So we have to compress this development cycle into as small units as possible and deliver as fast as possible. And that's why we need those low-code, no-code development platforms like Microsoft Power Platform. And Microsoft itself says, or Satya Nadella says, that Power Platform is the biggest bet. And it was in 2019, I think. Biggest bet in 2020 currently probably is AI solutions, because AI is utilized in every part, and even into Power Platform there are coming AI components where you can take ready-made analysis tools and attach them to Power Platform components. And you can also attach Azure AI solutions to Power Platform components and create very powerful applications. But this is not what we are dealing today. It's like already like step 2 or 3. What we're talking about today is first step, so that you can get data in, you can get reports on that, and you can get this data entry as easy as possible. And as often with Microsoft technologies, research companies think that Microsoft is one of the leaders. So together with Salesforce and some others. Salesforce is mainly in sales category, low-code development, but Microsoft is in more general. So let's see what is Power Platform and what does Power Platform consist of. Now, if we're looking at Power Platform, then there are like three main products. The best known and maybe the most interesting product is definitely Power BI, as it's a reporting solution that enables very beautiful charts for showing how your business is doing, and make some calculations on your data and present it every day in automated form so that you can really understand how your business is doing. And it has been out now for 5 years, and it has gained a lot of traction, and I think it's currently a market leading product. So this is really cream on top of Power Platform. But if you're looking downstream, then those like stuff that are as important as Power BI, but maybe not so visible to end users, are Power Automate and Powerups. And there are also technical solutions down for connecting to different data bases, those connectors and gateway applications, common data services as part of this Power Platform for creating those data sets that all those Power Platform technologies or applications can use. And you have a very good extensible programming environment, so that when you have completed your first version, you see the Power Platform works for you, you can extend it almost indefinitely. It's just maybe for some applications it's more, if it's really heavy use, maybe it's better to use some custom-made stuff in Visual Studio than to use those fast development stuff. It's a question for next steps, but I think if you are starting any development project, you should start small, start rapidly, and get fast results, and then you can move on to next steps. And those other stuff are then Power Automate and Powerups. Powerups is like a data entry or application environment development solution, and Power Automate is a workflow solution for automation. And all those Power Platform components use gateway applications and standard connections. Currently, there are more than 250 different applications or cloud applications that support Power Platform. And there are every day coming new and new applications that already have standard integrations to Power Platform, so that you can take data from those applications and enrich your reporting, enrich your data entry platforms with those applications. Now let's go and talk about those products. If you're looking at this Power Automate, this was the first one here. Power Automate is a workflow solution. There are hundreds of ready-made like templates that you can take. You just type in your application that you want to integrate, and Power Automate will, with high probability, already have some integration with your application, so that you can start from a template and move data from your application to some other application, or move data from, or enter data there directly from Powerups. And this is how this workflow application creation looks like. Here I have one sample application. I have here Estonian comments, but this is not important, so I think you can see in concept how it works. But basically what here is that in Primont we are using Pipedrive as our CRM application. And when we have deals there, we attach activities, stuff we have to do with customer into Pipedrive. And I have here automated workflow that every time a new activity is added into Pipedrive, here it checks that if owner of that activity is me, if it contains Toomas. Currently there is only one Toomas, fortunately, in Primont. And when it finds Toomas in that owner name, it adds this Pipedrive task into my Outlook task list so that I can see it with my Microsoft Planner tasks in the same view, and my Outlook tasks and emails that I have flagged. Those are all in one view, and I don't have to switch between applications to see my full task list. So I think this is very neat and good solution. But this is just one example. You can do whatever you want, basically. And for example, with Powerups, which is another Power Platform application, this component, you already have ready-made solutions here where you can just enter some kind of data, for example, in Powerups, and it sends an email with approval request to a person you showed in that Powerups. So there are hundreds, maybe thousands of different templates already available. And if we're talking about Powerups, then it is geared towards mobile views. You can, those applications you are making in Powerups, you can view in your mobile phones, and that's why they are in this view that not landscape, but I can't remember right now. Anyhow, in mobile view, but you can also create those canvases in landscape view for computer screen viewing, and it's just a question of decision making here and customizing and moving boxes. And of course, Power BI. I think Power BI doesn't need to any kind of introduction anymore because it's so popular and available. And you can all integrate all those components into Microsoft Teams. So I have given a very brief overview of Power Platform, and I think that now it's time to do a small demonstration and go through those steps so that you understand what this Power Platform is and how you can integrate rapidly those components into your business processes. So let's start from the place where most of start where most of the people start the day. It's Microsoft Teams, and as you know, Microsoft Teams actually has a SharePoint in background, so you can open SharePoint libraries there. And let's see, open in SharePoint. And now you can see that we have stuff that we have in Teams also in SharePoint. Okay, let's start by making a new library here. What is the process that we are going through in this demonstration is that leads come into company from all departments, not only sales departments, and usually the service departments are the main way, departments, one of those main departments that are interacting with customers, and a lot of sales leads are coming in through service departments, and we need to collect those sales leads and make it very simple, make it easy and rapid for those sales service people to collect those leads, because they are not sales people, they are measured by different standards, and the less time it takes for them to enter sales leads, the better and the more we get results. So let's go through the sales leads entry and see how can we make it very easy and manageable. Let's make a new list. Let's say sales leads collection list. Yep, I didn't make any spelling mistakes, thankfully. And here we see that we have a title. We can rapidly add new columns. So we can have here customer name. It's a single line of text. Save. We can have here date when it was entered, so that we can track that those leads are handled in due time. Okay, and then we should also have something like value here, probably to evaluate how much how important that deal probably is. And I made a small mistake here. I think it isn't a single line of text. I can say here, okay, it's number. Good. Okay, I had single line of text and the deal value and number. And I think this is the maximum that a service person is ready to enter data. If you require something more, then they will probably say that it's not part of their job and they don't want to enter it. But that is fine. Now, how do we make data entry easy for them? Service people probably don't want to come to SharePoint and start entering stuff here. How do we do it easy for them? Is we use Powerups, which is already integrated into SharePoint, and we tell SharePoint to create an app. Create an app, and we say sales leads collection app. Create. And now it takes a little bit of time here, so we can go into Power BI and look how can we collect that data in almost real time and show those charts that are associated with those leads that service people collect. And here we will create a new data set. We will say that we use API to collect that data, and sales leads report. And what do you have there? We had title. We had customer. We had date, I think, and it was date time. We had value. I think it was number. And we don't have to enter it in SharePoint or in app, but we also need the person who entered the deal. So we say that employee, and we can get that data straight from SharePoint because SharePoint has identified me. It has my name and everything on record, so I can just take from this SharePoint log this data, and I don't need to add it here separately. And let's create this report. Now we have report and this data set created. We will create a report based on that. Very easy. It's like all web-based. It used to be so that when you wanted to create any report in Power BI, you needed Power BI desktop installation. Now you can do a majority of stuff here without any Power BI. But if you need to do some hardcore code into your measures, then you will still need Power BI desktop. But if you are just configuring your dashboards here, you don't need those. Okay, let's say that we will use customer name, we will use title, employee, date, and value. Let's use all those values here. Let's say we have customer title, employee, date, value. Maybe add value up there, and good. We don't have any data here, so we don't have any data in table also, but we can also create some measures. We will take value. We will say that it will be a nice what was it called, card, and we say number of deals, but it's as its value. We have to use it as a count. We will count number of deals, and then we will have another one, and here we will use also this card, and we will retain some, and let's say value. Now we have some report, but we don't have any data in here. So let's do something about it. Let's first see if we have this Power App ready. And you see, at the time when we created this report, SharePoint went on and created this first application for us. We have here 3 screens. We have browse screen, which is all the items. We don't have any items right now. We will have detail screen, and we will have also edit screen where we can add data. Now, to complete our workflow, before I enter data, I will also create a workflow. Let's say that we will say that the sales leads into Power BI SharePoint, and if when a service person enters new lead, then automatically workflow is activated and data is copied to Power BI. Here we just load those work group or teams group where we have this data. We add this list name or data store name, and so here we define that every time some new item is created in sales lead collection, we will get an event. And now we will add those events or data into Power BI. And we will still use the same workspace. We will add it to the same workspace as before. It's this process development workspace. We will use dataset sales lead collection. And here we have real-time streaming dataset table. And this Power Automate Flow contacted Power BI, asked, hey, Power BI, what kind of fields do you have? And Power BI replied, well, I have title, I have customer, I have date, value, and employee. And now when I click here, it provides me data that's in this SharePoint, at least, for example, where it looked for that data. And here I can say title is title, customer is customer. That sense is very easy. If we're looking date is date, value was deal value. We have a lot of fields here. Let's see if we can find deal value. We had this. Okay, deal value is pretty in the bottom. And let's see employee. And we didn't add employee into table because SharePoint has already identified who is the person who entered. So we can see that modified by and use display name, so that what's in our Active Directory as a person's name, we will add it and save. and it's saved. I will just, to be sure, it's double saving, maybe even triple saving if you need, but my flows, let's see if I have this flow. Yeah, I have sales leads into Power BI flow here, and I can see all the runs. We didn't have any runs yet. Okay, let's go and publish this application. We are ready. Let's see if I can publish it or open again. See all apps. I didn't make any changes to this application, so I think it's already here. I will just close that tab where I created the tab. And here you can see that SharePoint has created for me the sales leads collection app. It was in 7 minutes ago when I entered it. And now I have this app and I didn't have any leads. Yes, now let's enter first one. And let's say that Martin wants to collect more data on customer satisfaction. Customer is the best pan-Baltic company. Here SharePoint doesn't provide the same data, so this is one of the shortcomings currently with those Power Apps. But I can just add one, and deal value, if it's the best pan-Baltic company, I think they have hundreds of thousands of customers, and probably the solution will be pretty large. So I will add here 20,000. And yes, and now we have this deal entered. Let's see if we have that deal also here. Let's refresh. Good, we have that deal also here. Let's see if our flow worked. Our flow hasn't worked. It usually takes about half a minute to check it. So if we like count to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Let's try again. Yeah, we have first run and it has succeeded. Yeah, it was 6 seconds ago, so I could have just counted to 4 probably. And let's go to Power BI. It's still blank. It doesn't have any data here. Let's see if we can refresh it here. Oh, damn it. I forgot to save the report, so I had to recreate it once again. Sorry, guys. So, but as you're seeing, as I'm creating that report once again, you see that there is now data. Previously, it was all empty. Now there is data here in this report. But I will just very rapidly create those measures again because I want to show how to use those small cards in Power App. So I will just take this one and say that it was number of deals, number of leads, and we will use it as a count. We will count how many leads we have, and we will create another one, another card, and we will keep it as a sum here, but I just will replace the value with a value of leads. Okay, good. Now I can, I have to save it. Thank God, I should have pushed that button before. A sales leads report. And now I will add those cards to dashboard. We have sales leads dash. And I will also pin, I will not go to this one, right? And I will pin also that one here. Sales lead dashboard. Good. And it says go to phone, create a phone view. So let's see how it does. Okay, it shows that you can have it how it looks on a mobile phone. Let's make it smaller so that you can have it here. And if you add new visuals, you can all add them to this dashboard as a additional visuals. So we have created dashboard, we have created report and data set. Now let's try if it works again. Let's create a new one, or even better, let's not create it here. Let's create it in Teams. We will add this new Power Up to our team screen. Powerups. Do we have it already here? It takes usually some minutes to sync. Yes, sales leads collection. Yes, we have it. Good. And you have it in Teams. If you open this Teams site, you have your posts here, you have your files here, and you can add new leads straight from Teams. Let's add it from Teams, new lead. We have it does wants to improve budget reporting. And let's say that it's even larger. Pan-Baltic company. We entered lead today. Okay. And deal value, if it's even better, it has to be even larger deal. So let's enter it here. We have entered it in Teams to Powerups. Let's see if we actually have it here. Let's refresh our SharePoint. Yes, we have it in our SharePoint. Let's see how our flow managed. We have still here this run. Okay, it takes a little bit of time as we saw before. It says that we did this last run 4 minutes ago. Let's try it again. Yeah, and then we have a second run. Let's see how our dashboard works. Do we need to refresh it? Oh, it did. I pushed refresh, but it actually refreshed it already. And now we have a dashboard that has this overview. We have a report, and we can even do small changes to our Powerups so that let's edit it. Let's see how it goes. It's editing. Opening this canvas takes a little bit of time, so I will go through some other functionality yet. So if we're looking at how those reports works, then when we're looking into Power BI, we have here a data set. We created a data set, we created a dashboard, and we created a report. And what's the difference? Usually people ask me, what is the difference between sales leads, these reports and dashboards? The thing with reports is that in report, you are analyzing your data, you are making a lot of charts, a lot of views, but to dashboard, you're bringing in only those most important measures. And when you have different data sets, you have different reports from those sales leads, you can bring to dashboard only the most important stuff from all different reports. And here, for example, we want to share that number of leads. We want to comment it. Then we will take number of leads. Why it's showing 1? It should be 2. Let's refresh. Yeah, it's 2. It's just not refreshed. So, okay, let's say share to Teams, and we have here we can go and we will tell hi guys, we have already 2 leads in 10 minutes. Good, and it has been shared. Now let's see, do we have it shared in Teams? Of course we have it shared, so and if you click here you can go to that sales lead. Okay, we have opened this Powerups view, and we can improve that view from here. We can decrease the size of list field, and we can add something from Power BI. Let's take Power BI and let's connect to this process development team site that we had. We have dashboard there, and we have number of leads. Good. Where it is? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, we bring it down here. Good. Number of leads, and let's add another one. Let's take the same process development site. Let's take number of leads, and let's take value of leads. Yes, now we have it here. I have this screen very, it's a lot of it is hidden and it's very large because of this webinar. I wanted to show as best as possible, but when you are doing on your own large screen this stuff, all those menus will be pretty small, and majority of your screen is covered by this canvas where you can add your stuff. So let's bring it here. Let's make it more better here. Let's see if it's okay. I'll drag it here, and I have new app visual. Let's save it. Save. Publish with this version. Good, we have it published. Let's see if Power BI accepts it. Not Power BI, but Teams. It says that okay, Power BI will also want to access your Teams now. Do we allow? Yes, we allow. And here you see that those are leads that we have added. And here we have already some analytics based on those leads. When we add new leads, those numbers will not be changed instantly. It will take some time. So we have to address this one if we are doing it as a real life project. But I see that my this demonstration has taken more than 20 minutes now, and I will make a cut here. There is a lot of functionality we can still add. We can add even the same report that we had in Power BI. Let's say we have this process development sales lead report, and we will add it as a tab here. And as you can see, it's very easy to create integrated work environment for your employees, so that when they are in some kind in a ready-made environment already, they don't need to go out from there to find a new application. It's all integrated, and the same view is available also on your mobile phone. If you want to make a better view for your employees for Teams, you can have the same type of data entry in a landscape. You just have to go and change your application canvas. You can add new those screens in the same application and new navigation logic here, and it will be completely different view for Teams for mobile phone, but it's still the same application, it's still the same data set. Okay, good. This, I think, completes my demonstration right now, and to say that it's very powerful platform. You can create applications here rapidly. You can create new value. The thing with a lot of stuff that people are thinking is that you have to make a very huge application to make something valuable. Usually it's small stuff that's important. We can, of course, concentrate hours on what should be the colors in the application and what is like the order of different fields. But the most important stuff is to get this data entry working, to get rid of paper, because if we have distributed organizations or people working remotely, we cannot work on paper anymore. And the easier this new data entry is into your applications, the better. But that's not all. If you are really into building new applications, I would say the Power Platform is step 1, step 2, and it's still a valuable part in your data, in your application development strategy. But that's not all. Microsoft has a whole new set of tools on Azure, so that you can extend basically every part of that Power Platform by using more powerful databases in the background, by using more powerful workflow automation tools where you can custom build your connectors to different web services. And you can also add those machine learning and AI stuff into your applications. So it's a very, very powerful platform. It's just how can you start fast, get fast results, get those tools to your employees, and then create new value. So it's a questions and answers time. Let's see if we have some questions. We don't have much time for questions, unfortunately, because my demonstration was so long, but I hope it was valuable. Here I have a question regarding business logic in your Power Platform. There is a possibility to add your own business logic into Power Platform. There are like 2 main ways. The main way is like to have those like this decision trees and stuff what you can use in Power Platform, and this is basically what business logic is. But if you need to custom build your connectors to different applications, databases, or you need very specific data connectors which are not available in Power Platform, then I would recommend using Azure Logic Apps, which are in basically the same stuff as Powerups, but it's better for development purposes. You can custom build more, you can edit all the code there that's entered. You can also do versioning there, which is important in development cycles, because if you are spreading your development into a longer periods, like not just weeks, but months and maybe years, you need some kind of versioning system, then those versioning stuff is available on Azure Platform. It's not so good or so usable on Power Platform, because Power Platform is rapid development for end user side self-service tools. And if you need really hardcore development tools, then I would recommend Azure services there. Okay, any more questions, guys? I have one question. So what people usually are asking me is that how much does it cost? So I have prepared some additional slides for you, and I will show them you. And it's usually the first question I get is, how much does Power BI cost? And it's very easy answer. If you are using Power BI as a desktop application, then it doesn't cost you anything. You can download Power BI desktop from Microsoft Store. You go to Microsoft Store and add it from there. I recommend this path because it changes very rapidly. You have changes every month, and when you download it from Power BI website, you have to manage those updates yourself. If you download it Microsoft Store, Microsoft Windows does this updating for you. Now, if you have created this report and you want to publish it to Power BI website for mobile view for automatic data refresh, then you publish it to Power BI website, to Power BI free, and it's still free. And people ask me, what does this Pro do? And the thing is that Pro functionality is a sharing functionality. Sharing is caring, but this is like how organizations work. You collaborate. Basically, Microsoft, very simply put, Microsoft charges you for collaboration. When you are getting more value through collaboration, that's when Microsoft starts charging you for Power BI. If you share reports, if you view shared reports, and when you need to add some security components into your reports so that you can manage what kind of data different user groups see, then that's when you have to start paying for Power BI. And the same is basically the same model is also in these Power Automate, Flow, and Powerups, is that if you are using all the components that you are using in your those Power Automate scenarios are in Office 365, then this is free. But if you need to use outsourced data from other sources, then it's already Microsoft asks you money. And if you have a lot of users, then it can get pretty expensive compared to for free. So what we are doing here with flows, it's a tip on top of everything, is that if you have some flows which are using external components that are not part of Office 365, everything I showed today is part of Office 365, so it's for free, all this functionality. But if you are using something from outside of Office 365, then, and it's not very often you have to check that stuff, I recommend using Logic Apps there, because in Logic App you pay per run, not monthly fee, and if your data changes very slowly, for example, you have those leads coming in maybe 1-2 per day, then Logic App will be a lot cheaper for you than using this flow in Office 365. And the same model is for Powerups, that if you are using in Powerups all the data from Office 365, it's for free. If you are using stuff from outside data sources, then you have to start paying for that. And then you have to like consult with Primont or with your current partner, maybe what kind of charges you must consider in your development plans. And maybe we can create everything in Office 365 so that you don't need any outside sources. That's also a possibility. So anyways, I see my time is up. Thank you all. As I said, we recorded this webinar. It will be available probably already tomorrow for you to review it. Thank you all and see you soon.